Good morning. This is now a bridge to a better world. This is the second attempt after some bizarre connectivity issues, which for all I know are ongoing. But I'm going to try this again. And I'm joined by Ani. Let me see if I can get the spear going here. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, never mind.
Never mind.
Wasn't even trying to go live on air.
Okay, I refuse to give up. I'm trying again. All right. Thanks. Bye-bye. All right, so that was Ani, who didn't know that I was going to try it again. And start again. This is now a bridge to a better world. I'm Teresa Mitchell, and that was Ani Haynes, who is taking care of her mother out of the country. And I'm going to start with my notes, which I wasn't able to get before, as several bizarre connection issues happened at the same time, both to my phone and to my laptop. But I just checked the connectivity of the Wi-Fi unit here. It's a new Wi-Fi unit. It has very high connectivity. So whatever is going on is not caused by my Wi-Fi unit. Although I don't know how the Wi-Fi unit could possibly have affected the data on my phone. I suspect something else entirely. I don't know. So here we go again. I'm not tired. And I'm not defeated. And I'll keep doing this until I get through. And imagine, since I didn't do the proper notification, and you probably don't have the link until I present it after the fact, you will get this recorded. However, there are some points here that I need to make, and I hope that you will make use of them. The first point is the fight back is moving forward rapidly, gaining momentum. I want to talk about something Trump did a couple of weeks ago. Has it been 2 weeks or 1 week? Everything seems to change as the fascist onslaught goes on, but he said that the Gulf of Mexico is now the Gulf of America. Now, to make you a slave, the first thing a fascist monster needs to do is to unmoor your mind. You are to understand that your fear of consequences is greater than any information you happen to believe. So it is that we see the perplexing and seemingly trivial action of Donald Trump asserting that the name of the Gulf of Mexico is now somehow the Gulf of America. The Associated Press was kicked out of the White House for refusing to pretend that the Gulf of America is real, but this is how obedience to even more egregious lies and commands is enforced and created. First, you take a little sip of the fascist inebriant, saying to yourself, oh, well, Gulf of Mexico, whatever, he's a little crazy. And then after a while, you're ready to chug down something more, like, it's necessary to turn in my neighbor. So yeah, it's the fucking Gulf of Mexico. The presidency does not come with some sort of historic cartographic god power. It reminds me of quotes from 1984. The party told you to reject the evidence of your eyes and ears. It was their final, most essential command. And who controls the past controls the future. Who controls the present controls the past. That was what the satirized government was doing. In the novel 1984, still a good read. So it's the Gulf of Mexico. Sadly, many are falling for the intimidation and the threat of firings by turning on their fellow citizens already. NASA is scrubbing important historic information about the women who made the moon mission work, including the woman who actually computed their trajectory for the moon missions. The National Park Service erased GLBT plus on the Stonewall Inn site and replaced it with GLB, which, by the way, is resulting in a new riot. I understand this coming week, and I'm down for it. I can't fly out to New York, but I would if I could. Fight back is happening in many ways here in Portland. Indivisible protesters confronted the Tesla dealership off I-5. It might as well be considered the Musk ambassadorship. How do you address Musk? I don't know. Tesla will do. It's near the spaghetti factory and the ice dungeons. And the protest did happen on Monday. And whether the MAGAs like it or not, there is a reason and evidence to investigate the 2024 presidential election. So more on that in just a moment. Musk has stolen $80 million from the city of New York. Apparently the excuse is a set of lies about immigrant processing, and the heist itself must have been accomplished via Musk's espionage of the Treasury system. To give a bit more details, they're claiming that people were being put up in luxury hotels. This is nonsense. The millions were part of a $12.50 voucher system that had already been delivered to New York. It is outright theft. Everything Musk and Trump are saying is a lie about that and about most things. The theft caused a $79 million overdraft at Citibank and a $115 overdraft fee, which has now been refunded by Citibank after the situation was explained by New York. Much of what we know comes from Senator Ron Wyden's confidential sources. Wyden was the one who exposed the theft of Treasury last week, and this week, or last night rather, he's warning that Doge is attacking the IRS. Trump especially hated the IRS because under Biden, they were nearly funded sufficiently to start plowing through billionaire accounts and multi-million-dollar corporate tax dodges, probably including the gigantic and illegal semi-secret tax accounts stashed in Delaware, the Caymans, Switzerland, Lesser Antilles. These offshore tax dodges run into the trillions of dollars. Trillions, many, I'm talking about 20, $30 trillion, and you can bet Musk and Thiel don't want the IRS to have the details on them. Wyden says, if your refund is delayed, this is a quote, they could very well be the reason, end quote. From sourcenm.com, more than a dozen state attorneys general and numerous current and former government employees filed lawsuits Thursday aiming to stop billionaire Elon Musk from shuttering federal agencies. That's sourcenm.com. It says that two complaints allege that Musk power under Doge is a violation of the Constitution's Appointments Clause. It is, by the way, also their actions are also considered a conspiracy, an open conspiracy, and determination to violate the Administrative Procedure Act. They write the clause presidential appointments must come under the advice and consent of the U.S. Senate, of course. Marbury v. Madison refers to judicial the judicial check on the executive, and Congress is the legislative check on the executive. And they are ignoring that. It is time for them to be shut down for a number of reasons, not least the fact that they stole the election. Ending that quotation, citing damages to their careers and financial security, the plaintiffs are seeking the court to block defendant Musk and his Doge subordinates from performing their significant and wide-ranging duties unless and until defendant Musk is properly appointed pursuant to the U.S. Constitution. So that's the crux of it, isn't it? This is an illegal attempt to fascistize, to oligarchize the U.S. government, to break it up, to make everyone confused and despairing. It's not working. And we all need to fight back in whatever way. And the way that you need to fight back is whatever works for you. If you need to go to a protest, if you need to go to an indivisible meeting, if you need to go online, whatever you need to do, if you need to wheat paste posters, that's an excellent idea. You must fight, and you must fight continually, or you will enter a fascist hellscape that is known to past victims of the Soviet Union, past victims of fascist regimes like Tojo Mussolini, and yes, Hitler. It is important to know that the Doge Musk pseudo-agency is not conducting audits. They are merely setting up the theft of the U.S. government and its assets in order to fund a cockamamie scheme to create individual fascist fiefdoms under tech bro oligarchy. Aside from federal and state theft laws, they're in violation of the Administrative Procedure Act, as I said, on an ongoing and intentional basis. The real audit agency is over 100 years old. It's quite successful. It is becoming more successful, and it's called the General Accountancy Office, the GAO. The GAO provides Congress, the heads of executive agencies, and the public, according to their publication, with timely, fact-based, nonpartisan information that can be used to improve government and save taxpayers billions of dollars. So that already exists. And if Trump and Musk were serious about getting more government efficiency, they would give more power and reach to the GAO. But that is not what they are doing. They are stealing the government in order to create the little fiefdoms that they've been talking about for years in their own little circles. Musk, Thiel, and a number of oligarchs would like to literally create little fascist city-states that they control. And they want the funds of the U.S. government to do it. It sounds bizarre. It sounds unbelievable. In 2021, the Government Accountability Office celebrated a century of service as a source of objective, nonpartisan information on government operations, and the GEO plays a key role in helping Congress improve the performance of government, ensuring transparency, saving money. Now, speaking for myself, payback for the GAO's investigations, which include stopping the cheating of veterans and addressing the pharmaceutical industry's massive scams, is on the order of $126 for every dollar spent. That's money that goes back to you. Doge is a dodge, not an audit. Doge does not know how to do audits, and their team of hackers, election hackers, does not know how to do an audit. They have no credentials, no training, and have no idea they break things for their dear master, the Muskovite. We know from gregpalace.com that 4.5 million votes were challenged or diverted in the 2024 presidential election, and that likely 3.5 million of those were Harris votes. I am approximating the precise figures are at gregpalast.com. GREGPALAST.com. So now comes the look for the map graphic, by the way, on that website. Now comes the Election Truth Alliance, a group of experienced volunteers using large data analysis to see if the 2024 election really was hacked at the tabulator level. They have been working for months, and I won't keep you waiting. It was clearly hacked, and now we know that they have crunched the data that they are saying so plainly. The election was hacked. They start with the Clark County in Nevada, and if you pull up their website, that's the Election Truth Alliance. What you will find is chilling. The early voter tabulations were rigged to allow exactly 250 votes through in a normal way. This is true of many, many tabulators. After which, a worm virus, in other words, a virus that existed in the programming and had been presented before. This is a long story. The code for those machines was lost a couple of years ago. The worm virus started changing Harris votes to Trump votes. This can be seen via data analysis. It's very obvious. It was done across the nation. The Election Truth Alliance is moving forward to the swing state vote records. That's what they're working on now. They are finding exactly the same thing. The 250 vote worm. It'll get a name eventually. Probably not that. Remember the bomb threats called in from Russia. They were used to clear the building so that the hack could be inserted into the vote tabulators, and it was a massive millions of votes theft, and the cat is out of the bag. People are going to come forward. Indictments are going to be issued. If we make a stink about this, if we spread it around, if we make this famous, the Election Truth Alliance, it really is up to you. Will you bring up the website? Will you look at it? Will you use your browser and find the Election Truth Alliance? You want to do something? You want to do something? Election Truth Alliance. This is an important part of how we hammer down the Musk fascist takeover. Okay, so I want to say that Ron Wyden has been a hero in this, if I haven't said it already, and he should be followed on Blue Sky. Also, Senator Merkley is on there. Oregon's delegation has done proudly. The Oregon delegation has really made a difference. But I really want you to, and I'm going to put it in the chat, I want you to look up the Election Truth Alliance. That's not a link. It's a misspelled, there we go. That's just a note, and I want you to bring that up on a browser and look at what they have done and understand the implications. They're very careful. For example, when they say that human, this does not look like what human voting patterns look like. What they mean is, of course, that it is a non-human computer-inserted virus that produced those results. There's no doubt about it. Musk and Trump can't escape if we're loud enough. And so that is what I was going to leave you with. Once again, I'm not tired. As Woody Guthrie said, I'm not proud. And this is going to come around on the guitar again. I understand there's a tarot reading coming from Ani soon. So put your notifications on this channel, please. As the crisis proceeds, Ani and I will get more and more active, our promise to you. And so, my love goes out to you and to all the ships at sea.